Ja'Marr Chase or Puka Nacua at wide receiver 1? The market says Chase. Last season's production and 2 current projections sets favor Puka. Both names now carry a practice status question you cannot ignore. If your full PPR draft started tonight, here is the evidence, the risk, and the pick. Start with the price. FantasyPros has Chase as the first wide receiver by full PPR ADP at pick 2.2. Puka Nacua is second at 3.8. Expert consensus is even louder. Chase ranks first overall, while Puka ranks third. ESPN's default PPR list also puts Chase one spot ahead, third overall versus fourth. So if you take Puka first, you are betting against the room, but not without evidence. Start with Puka's 2025 production. In 16 games, he made 129 catches for 1,715 yards and 10 receiving touchdowns, at 105 rushing yards and another score. FantasyPros credited him with 375 full PPR points, 23.4 per game, and the wide receiver 1 finish. He beat Chase by 61.4 points and 3.8 per game. This is not only a backward-looking argument. FantasyPros projects Puka for 122 catches, 1,544 yards, 9 scores, and 339.8 PPR points. That is only 3.8 more than Chase, essentially a photo finish. ESPN creates a wider full PPR edge for Puka after adding receptions to its standard total. Both models favor Puka through volume and yardage. The reason I cannot simply crown Puka is current availability. The Rams' official August 24 injury update listed him as a non-participant because of soreness. The team calls it SOS soreness. On screen is the exact status, nothing more. Do not add a diagnosis, a severity guess, or a recovery prediction. Before spending a top 4 pick, verify that Puka has returned to full practice and that the team has not added a new limitation. Chase did not match Puka's monster season, but his floor remained elite. Across 16 games, he made 125 catches for 1,412 yards and 8 touchdowns. That produced 13.6 PPR points, 19.6 per game, and a wide receiver 4 finish. Those are first-round numbers tied to Joe Burrow and one of football's most established high-volume pairings. Chase's projected path is slightly different. FantasyPros gives Puka more receptions and yards, but gives Chase the touchdown edge, 10 versus 9. That closes the projected gap to less than 4 PPR points over 17 games. You are not choosing between different tiers. You are choosing which uncertainty you prefer. Puka's current practice limitation, or Chase giving back some of last year's volume advantage while counting on touchdowns to compensate. Chase is not a zero-risk button either. On August 25, same-day reports said he left Bengals practice early after an awkward landing and walked off under his own power. I will not label the body part or predict what comes next. Treat this as a mandatory status check, not a diagnosis. If Cincinnati reports a meaningful limitation, the equal cost verdict can flip immediately. Here is the clean matrix. Puka owns the stronger 2025 finish, the yardage edge, and the higher total in both current projection sets. Chase owns the current ADP and expert consensus lead, plus the higher FantasyPros touchdown projection. Puka costs about 1.6 picks less. Decide from the latest practice report your exact draft slot and whether the room gives you a discount. My pick today is Ja'Marr Chase at equal cost. That follows the market and avoids paying the same price for a player who was still a non-participant at the latest official Rams practice update. But the gap is tiny. If Puka returns to full practice and falls even one selection beyond Chase, I take Puka's volume and projection edge. If Chase's next report adds a real limitation, then Puka becomes my wide receiver 1. Who are you taking first, Chase or Puka? Drop your pick and draft slot in the comments. Subscribe to Fantasy Football Blueprint for source rankings, injury-aware decisions, and conditional draft calls that update when the evidence changes.